bounced on the dusty air. A finger on the trigger and a sly little grin. A mystery that's tangled in the towns of sin. The wild bunch whispers as the saloon doors swing. The yellow rose of Texas, she makes the gold rain. From boudoirs to brothels, it's always the same. The money and the power play a dangerous game. With a pistol in her gutter and a plan in her mind. She's the queen of the West, leaving dust trails behind.
From Country Diggers. Welcome to the Speakeasy. I've been doing a series called Boudoirs to Brothels, and today I'm not going to go into a story in the book, but one I found on a podcast. It's Big Alice and the Battle of the Bordellos, and I found it on Wild West Extravaganza. .com, Apple Podcast, and Spotify. They're Wild West Extravaganza. And I'll be reading an article by the TrueWestMagazine.com, Clash of the Mad Madams by Boze Bell. And as I said, this is rated PG, so use your discretion with children. It may be inappropriate for younger children. Okay, stay tuned. Okay, Clash of the Mad Madams. April 18th, 1886. The beautiful Bessie Colvin is fed up. After a year of arguing over extracurricular activities in parentheses and bad accounting, the star attraction at Alice Abbott's Bordello in El Paso, Texas, is quitting to seek better working conditions elsewhere. Bessie's also drunk. Sashaying through the brothel parlor, the angry soul dove swears at the customers, telling them how foolish they are for shopping at Fat Alice's Belly Bazaar. At the front door, Bessie informs everyone within hearing that the prime cut will soon be found across the street. Storming out the front door, Bessie crosses Utah Street, headed for Etta Clark's sporting house. Passing a trio of amused men, she mutters, "I'm not going to stay in that damned hooker shop any longer." After hearing Bessie's tale of woe, Etta Clark readily agrees to hire the raving beauty. With gainful employment assured, Bessie marches back across Utah Street to retrieve her belongings. As Bessie packs her trunk in her room, Madam Alice Abbott comes in and demands to know what's going on. Hearing Bessie's avowed defection, Alice flies into a rage and tries to slap her, but Bessie ducks the blow and flees the premises. Alice sends her two of her other girls to retrieve her errant prostitute. But when they return empty-handed, she crosses the street and climbs onto Etta's porch. Banging on the front door, Alice demands to be let in. Etta opens the door a crack. For protection, she is wielding a yard-long brass gas lighter that she has been using to adjust the gas jets in her house. "What do you want?" Etta asks. "I want to see Bessie," Alice barks. "Don't let her get me," pleads Bessie from behind Etta. "She'll hurt me if she gets a hold of me. She'll beat me to death." "She doesn't want to see you," Etta tells her rival. "Get out of my house." "It doesn't make a damn bit of difference whether she wants to see me or not," bellows Alice as she flings her hefty body against the door, sending Etta staggering backwards. Through the open door, Alice starts for Bessie. Etta takes a swing at her rival with the gas lighter. Deflecting the blow, Alice says, "I owe you this anyhow," and punches Etta in the face, sending the madam sprawling into her bedroom. Alice grabs the hysterical Bessie by the wrist and begins dragging her out the door, screaming and kicking. Bessie breaks free and runs back inside. Retrieving a bone-handled .44 caliber Ivor Johnson Bulldog revolver from her dresser drawer, Etta re-enters the parlor. "Miss Alice," says Etta, aiming the piece directly at her rival, "I want you to leave my house." "I'll leave your house," jeers Alice as she advances on her smaller foe. "I'll kill the damn bitch," cries Etta, pulling the trigger. Clutching her groin, Alice screams, "My God, I'm shot." Alice staggers out of the house and down the porch steps before she collapses in the street. Etta steps onto the porch and fires again, but she misses. 3 of Alice's girls rush across the street to carry their employer back inside her house. The fight is over. Alice Abbott kept a photo album of her days as a madam of her brothel in El Paso, Texas. On the first page of the album, Alice staked the claim as the best housekeeper in the USA. The fiery and hefty madam reportedly tipped the scales at 230 pounds. Arriving in El Paso in 1880 from Louisville, Kentucky, Abbott was the first madam to build her brothel on South Utah Street, number 19. When the petite French-Canadian Etta Clark set up shop nearby, the 2 madams became friends, and then enemies. The photo above of Etta Clark was crossed out by Alice Abbott, but the fact that the photo was in Alice's album suggests that they were friends at an earlier date. Evidently, Clark was an equal opportunity madam. When Clark appeared in court for shooting Abbott, her weapons were admitted into evidence. Her gas lighter still has the Exhibit A tag attached, while her .44 caliber revolver has Exhibit B scratched into the frame in 2 places. Madam Alice Abbott also put the letter A surrounded by a heart on numerous photos in her album, possibly denoting customers and girls who were extra special to her. The arrival of the Southern Pacific, Texas and Pacific, and the Atchison, Topeka, and Santa Fe Railroads in El Paso, Texas, in 1881 created a tempting valley for settlers to ply their trade and benefit from the Mexican Free Trade Zone. The border town's Tenderloin District had major brothel locations by 1886, and by 1890 more than 600 sold doves occupied the city blocks known as the Utah Street Reservation. The potential for clientele shot up from 736 residents in 1880 to 10,338 by 1890. They summoned Dr. A.L. Justice, determined the bullet had penetrated to the right of Alice Abbott's pubic arch and passed through her body. No vital organs were hit. The next day's El Paso Herald mistakenly told readers that Alice had been shot in the public arch. Long after she recovered, Alice was often asked, "How's your public arch feel today?" The phrase later became a part of Western folklore. Etta Clark turned herself in to the police and was charged with attempted first-degree murder. On May 13th, a jury found Etta not guilty on the grounds of self-defense. Incredibly, after the dust had settled and the wounds healed, Alice Abbott sweet-talked Bessie Colvin into returning to work at her brothel. Well, that was the clash of the mad madams. Okay, I know some people don't. I enjoy these kinds of stories. They're behind the scenes history, and it's so much more fun to go into than the regular history books out there that you read in school. Okay, if you go behind the scenes of the history, it is so much more interesting and fun, and that's what I like. All right, hope you enjoyed, and see you back soon. Bye.